The following podcast contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
The Showdown Podcast presents the Survivor Series with Corey Miller, Vic Miller, and Brad Scott. Today's episode, Clueless. Welcome to the Showdown Podcast. This is a special Survivor Series episode, and today's movie is Clueless from 1995. I am Brad Scott. As always, I am joined by Corey Miller and via Skype, Vic Miller.
Howdy.
Vic?
And his smoke alarm.
And was that a smoke alarm?
Yes, it needs batteries.
Somebody, let me guess, black and mild?
Well, Swisher Sweet. Yeah.
Swisher Sweet. So this is the second episode now that we've done. Not that we're putting them in order. That was probably a dumb thing to say, but it is.
It's still the second.
It's the second movie we've done. The first one was
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. And so keeping along those lines, same type of movie, Clueless. No?
Yes.
None of that?
No.
Nothing there?
No.
Are we waiting on it? Is it coming? No, surely it's not going to be there. Wait, is it?
Don't call me Shirley. Huh?
There.
It was kind of there.
It's kind of there.
Yeah, volume needs to be turned up. So anyways, you'll notice that we don't sound as much like we're in a tin can this episode.
Yes, it's very nice.
Yeah, we have the wonderful new audio equipment provided by Molly Smith, registered nurse, and now executive producer of the Showdown Podcast. And apparently, we actually have to give her the trophy from this award-winning podcast. She wants the trophy now. So,
all right, I guess you can take it home.
Let's get to the show.
Right.
Clueless, 1995, kind of the breakout hit for Alicia Silverstone, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like isn't this her first major role? Is this what introduced her to the mainstream? Because she got really hot there in the mid to late 90s.
I think this put her on the map.
Put her on the map, yeah.
No, you know what put her on the map?
What?
Was that Aerosmith video?
Oh, Crying.
Yeah. Oh shit, she did 3 videos.
Well, but this made her, I think,
Yeah,
mainstream.
this put her in the movie.
Like, because this was
like,
and was this kind of a sleeper hit? Because I remember when it came out, and I was 13 years old, and my friends, my 2 friends and I wanted to go watch this movie, but we didn't have money, so my mom was like, well, go earn some money. And so we decided to go mow lawns, and this first guy gave us $5, and it took us like an hour and a half to mow the whole thing. We were just like, this sucks. So then the next couple of houses, we just rolled the lawnmower back and forth to create the wheel marks. And then went up and got the money and went and saw this movie. And I instantly liked it. I thought it was a very 90s movie.
I can't even tell you when I first saw this movie. I don't think it was until it was on video that I actually watched it. And it was all right. I didn't have a preference to it. It wasn't like one of those this says something about my generation. But then again, I was 40.
Well, and I was gonna say, this wasn't really your generation.
Yeah.
This was many generations after your generation. I believe you're part of what they call the greatest generation, right? The World War II.
Baby boomers.
Yes.
Vic, is this was Clueless a hit amongst black people?
It had hot chicks in it, so obviously, we got to go after them white women. This was like 3 years after I graduated high school. I mean, it was a pretty popular movie and has been, I guess, amongst that demographic for years. So I think every generation probably watched this movie and gloms onto it.
Yeah, it's so for those of you who may not be caught up or remember the story, it's basically Alicia Silverstone plays a character named Cher. She is a very rich daughter of a lawyer in Beverly Hills, and her best friend Dion, played by vampire Stacey Dash. And
Yes, she is.
her brother, her ex stepbrother,
Yeah.
played by other vampire Paul Rudd, and of course Brittany Murphy
R.I.P.
in her last film role. No, not even
No,
close.
What?
no,
No,
not even close.
get it? I said Brittany Murphy in her last film role.
Yeah, you completely confused Vic.
So basically, Cher and Dion take Brittany Murphy Ty under their wing to basically give her a makeover, and it's kind of the ugly duckling story. They she's all that at her, where they basically take off.
Which they did twice in this movie. With the teacher.
Oh yeah, with the teacher, Miss
Yeah.
Geist.
Yeah.
And then Ty, of course, gets a little too big for her britches, and of course, Alicia Silverstone was in love with Paul Rudd the whole time and just didn't know it. And it's basically kind of a mix of a parody / romantic comedy. It kind of parodied teen culture at that time.
It did, but I think too. I think there was a lot of stuff that
Beverly.
I think it mirrored.
More like
What's
Beverly
that?
Hills. More like Beverly Hills teen culture than anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, because there were some really funny things, especially for that time. The scene where they're on the cell phones, after class, and they literally walk up to each other still on the phone
yeah.
with
Oh,
each other.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah, yeah.
that was the other weird thing is I remember being like, what kind of phones are those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because
that,
they
who the
weren't
hell could
big and-
afford that?
Yeah, like even Zach Morris couldn't
They were
afford those
smaller
phones.
than his brick phone.
Right.
I liked the running gag though. If you watch in the background, there's a lot of nose job and chin job jokes that aren't even pointed out, but just people with their nose and their chins taped up. I thought was kind of funny as well too. Which you could probably only get away with that joke if it's based in California, because that's not happening in the Midwest. I mean, it is, but it's not.
Not as prevalent as
It's not
that.
as prevalent.
Yeah.
And it was very much about materialism and basically it was a lot of rich kids, a ton. And Breckin Meyer, who plays kind of the low end of the totem pole, I'm assuming he's probably like that kid that lives in the apartment complex in the really rich town.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the one that
And
brings
he's the
down
stoner.
the value of the houses in the neighborhood.
He was really good. In fact, like really, this whole cast. This was a strong cast. Donald Faison,
Donald Faison, yeah.
he was great as
This may have been
Dion's
his first
boyfriend
movie.
Murray.
Let me see. I'm checking to see if that's his first movie.
Man, he's been in so much stuff.
He's been in a shit.
Like he
ton
is
of shit.
really for years.
He was in Juice.
He might be a vampire too. Now that I come to think about
Yeah,
it.
because I was about to say the same thing. If you look at him right now, he still looks exactly the same. But
Yeah.
black don't crack, so it's all good.
Yeah, I was gonna say to be fair, there's a lot of black people we could put on that list of
Yeah.
vampires.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe the reason they don't crack is because they're vampires.
All black people are vampires.
Yeah.
Vic,
I mean, you wouldn't. I think
I've
I'm older than
noticed
Corey,
you've
so-
never we're always supposed to meet at 3, but you never show up until 6
till sundown. No,
when the sun goes down.
I've never seen Vic in the daytime. It's always been at night.
Are you effing? That's literally the joke you just literally did a
I'm
worse
talking-
version of the joke I just.
I'm talking about at any time, though, not just when we record. Anyway,
I mean, no, literally. Okay, so I just literally said we're supposed to always record at 3, but you notice Vic never gets here until 6. Vic decided to help out the listener. Maybe they didn't pick up on that. He goes, yeah, sundown. And then you literally follow up with, yeah, I don't see Vic until it's dark outside.
and I'm talking.
How
about-
can you look that much like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but have literally no fucking wisdom or knowledge?
I don't have my my robe. Anyway,
So, who else did you like in this movie? Now, I noticed that the guy that plays Donald Faison's friend, Lawrence, I believe was his name, He was on the TV show because they did a TV show. They had the spin-off TV show. Did you ever see that, Vic?
Yes, I did. Actually, and I actually enjoyed that TV show, even though
I was going to say it wasn't horrible. It took adjusting, right?
Yeah,
it
was
took
weird.
some adjusting, but I think they had enough of the main cast that it worked.
Right.
Because Stacey Dash did the show. Donald Faison was on the show. The girl that played Amber, who looked like Wendy.
Yeah.
Like fast food Wendy's.
In one scene, I said she looked like Pippi Longstocking. He said Wendy's, and I had to go with that one.
Yeah, it was way better. It was way funny.
Eliza
It was way
Donovan, I
funnier.
think her name is.
What?
Eliza Donovan's her name or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, Alyssa Donovan.
Jeremy Sisto.
You made her black. Eliza.
Eliza.
That's Eliza Donovan. That's Escalade, not Escalade.
Jeremy Sisto played Elton, the guy that they tried fixing Britney.
Yeah,
Murphy
this
up
is
with.
Corey's like, you know who that is, right? And I'm like, no. And then he's like, he was in something else. I don't remember. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah, it's amazing. I didn't recognize him.
Law and Order. See, I told you.
Okay,
One
yeah.
of them fucking shows.
He was in one episode.
More like Wrong
Suburgatory.
Turn.
That was the other one.
How about Wrong Turn?
Yes, and Wrong Turn. Suburgatory was the one I was trying to tell you about. That was the funny show
Oh, okay,
on
the
NBC.
sitcom type.
Yeah. He was also in 6 Feet Under.
I thought he did a good job of being a douche,
Yeah.
especially the scene at the party where they're where she's like Alicia Silverstone's pointing at him and he's dancing by himself and he's doing that douchebag point thing where he's just like shaking and pointing at nobody in particular to both sides.
It was like the white guy dance.
Oh wait, it was no, that's insulting to white guys dancing. That was the douchebag dance. And speaking of which, that's a really good overall scene. The whole
Carlton
party
is
thing.
The white guy dance.
What's that?
The Carlton is the white guy dance.
Surprisingly enough, made famous by a black man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I thought the party scene was one of the best scenes in the entire movie. I thought it was really funny. And the part where the shoe comes flying off and hits her in the head.
Yeah.
And then the, ask her questions. What's 7 times 7? No, stuff she knows.
He also did a Globe Geek Trivia. He did the voice of Batman in a Justice League movie. So,
Oh, did he?
yeah,
Dan Hedaya.
That's positive cred for him, in my book at least.
It all resorts back to comics.
Right.
Dan Hedaya plays Cher, a.k.a. Alicia Silverstone's dad.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah. I always liked Dan Hedaya. He's hilarious.
Mel, right?
Yes.
Mel Horowitz. Yeah, he was really, really funny. And I don't think he did any of the episodes of the TV show. It was a big heavy set guy who's been in a decent amount of other things that I can't think of off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, he's a big TV guy though, isn't he? I can't remember what it is, but he mainly does TV. The dad on the TV show.
And the chick I'm trying to, you got me thinking about who was playing Cher. It was the girl you remember in Road Trip.
Yes, I know. Yeah, exactly. It's his girlfriend,
It's
right?
Breckin Meyer's girlfriend.
Yeah.
In that movie.
And actually, one of the better running gags in the movie is one you really liked, which was the maid being afraid.
Yes.
Of Cher's dad.
I never noticed it before, but the maid is always
hiding. You know, Vic, that's a good. This is what. So Vic was supposed to be here with us, and he had kind of a bad day. We love Vic, and we're happy he could join us in this capacity. But Vic, here's what you missed when we were watching the movie. So they do the scene where they introduce her dad, and Cher's doing the voiceover, and she says literally, the maid is terrified of him, and they show the maid running off, right? So then they go through the scene where he walks into the kitchen, and he has the thing with Cher, and in the background, the maid you can see kind of sticking behind the wall, hiding,
Right.
sticking out a little bit, and Corey's like, is the maid hiding from him? And I'm like, well, yeah, he's like he's the scary character. She's afraid of him. He goes, well, they didn't even address like that she's hiding. And he's like, you must go back. I don't think they addressed. And he literally goes back. And as soon as he stops, the first line you hear is, our maid was terrified of him. Yeah, I figured they would have addressed that 35 seconds ago.
Honestly, I didn't hear it. I was talking. So, what can I say?
Yeah, I felt like I was watching the movie with Vic, to be honest. He kept talking, because the black people are known to do.
Because black guys at theaters.
Black guys known to talk in the theater.
I did think it was funny, though, that while she's talking with her dad, you can just see, you can't see the maid's head, but you can see her body sticking out from behind a wall. I just thought that was funny.
That was a really good running gag, though.
Yeah.
And I felt like...
And I never noticed it before.
I felt all the supporting actors in this movie were really good. Who's the guy that played Mr. Hall?
Wallace Shawn.
Yes, he was. We just talked about him. We just talked about him in the Princess Bride episode.
Yes.
Yep, Vicini.
She tries to fix him up with Miss Geist,
Who was played by
Twink Kaplan.
what? No,
That's her name. It says right there. That's her name, Twink Kaplan. I shit you not.
Oh, okay. No, okay. Never mind. The person I was thinking of was the gym teacher.
Oh no. We can.
We'll get to her in a minute. But okay, so yeah, I actually thought Miss Geist too. I believe she did the TV show as well, and I believe the guy that was Mr. Hall, Wallace. I think he did as well. But they were really good.
I never watched the TV show, so I don't know.
That Wallace dude, man, he just makes me laugh when he talks.
It
doesn't matter what he says. He was also a voice on Toy Story, right?
Yes, he was
The dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a dinosaur.
And then, you have anything else about those two teachers?
No, not those two teachers. No.
So let's move on to the gym teacher.
Okay.
Corey, who did you think that was?
Okay. I misspoke when I said it, but I said downtown
this is
Julie
gonna be
Brown.
Is that downtown Julie Brown?
But
Oh, the light-skinned lesbian? Is that the black VJ from 1990?
Oh my god.
but I was close. It wasn't downtown Julie Brown. It was just Julie Brown. So
Wrong
difference
age,
is they
wrong
think
se- wrong-
British
wrong-
accent.
The only thing you got right
What's that?
was the sex and the name. The only thing he got right was the sex and the
Julie
name.
Brown
Everything
was
else
on
about that was
MTV
wrong.
too.
See, I didn't remember her. I remember
Yeah.
downtown
Yeah, in
Julie
her
Brown.
videos.
Yeah,
You talk a lot like this.
she was a comedian back then, and
Wugga wugga bugga. Or what was it? Wubba wubba wubba.
yeah, there you go.
I remember the In Living Color parody they did of Downtown Julie Brown was really funny.
Oh yeah,
When they did that music, man, that's the thing I miss is like we don't have music videos anymore, so you can't have like the parody of the music videos. Those were great. Jim
Yeah.
Carrey doing Vanilla Ice and
and Saturday Night Live doesn't even do that. They won't touch him. Mad TV used to.
well,
do
no
it.
wait, Saturday Night Live does. They just did Hotline Bling.
Yeah,
with
but they
Donald
make
Trump.
up. They make up their own songs though. They don't actually do.
That no,
parodies
that
of-
was a parody of Hotline Bling, the Drake song.
Oh, I have no idea about that song.
Did you see that, Vic?
That's literally the song that they did.
Yeah, did you see that?
I didn't see it. I've seen clips of it
With
on
Donald
YouTube.
Trump. It made me laugh, and then I hated myself because I can't stand Trump, and I hate Trump, and I'm terrified for this country. I'm like literally, we're gonna be Skyping me in from Canada if fucking Trump gets elected.
Well, we can't get political. Can't get political now.
Oh yeah, we
It's not getting political. He's making
bad
this
enough. We're already talking about black stereotypes. I'm surprised we haven't brought up Walmart and bitches.
That will be in a little later.
So
We may lose it. We may lose a listener.
I thought the whole scenes with the gym teacher were really funny too, and the line where Amber says, "I have a note from my doctor that I can't wants me to avoid doing activities where balls fly at my face," and Dion chimes in with, "Well, there goes your social life."
The one-liners in this movie are hilarious.
The film also was directed by Amy Heckerling, who, if you know, she directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and Look Who's Talking Too. And not a whole lot after that, a lot of TV stuff. But she's put some teenage films on the map, if you would say.
And you know what, this movie,
Or at least two.
for the type of movie that it was, it's what did we say earlier? 80% certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I think that's what you said it was.
It might even honestly be higher than that. But that to me, that's just really, really, impressive there. Just because, again, movies like this, it's kind of like a spoof / romantic comedy. They generally don't get treated very well. It has 81%.
Oh, okay.
like I said, it's one of those movies. Like even though it came out like right after I got out of high school, it's still a movie today that teenagers will watch and they know it. Because even my daughters, who are both out of high school now, but when they saw it the first time, it was something they watched over and over again, like any of the other current I guess high school age movies. So it definitely holds up.
Ooh, Vic's already. Is that? Are you already giving your decision?
Well, yes. I guess that would
kind of literally just took the whole steam out of what I guess we planned on doing for right before the commercial.
I guess it was just kind of a statement more so, but I guess it would kind of put me in that category.
Well, Corey, let's go ahead and what do you think? We just watched it a couple hours ago, so it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah, I'd say. I'd say it holds up for sure. I think I don't know if today's teens relate to it or not. But Vic is saying that they rewatch it, so it must have some.
I don't know if they can relate to the whole thing, especially the freeway scene, or not the freeway scene, but the scene where they're going to the party.
Yeah,
and Murray's driving and he's getting frustrated because they're trying to read the map.
They're trying to read a map, and I said, "Well, there's one thing if that GPS would have helped in this scene." There's a few things in there that I mentioned that
the classroom scene was really good, where Breckenmeyer accepts the award for having the most tardies.
I wish I would have had somebody in school that did that.
That was me. I'm being dead serious. That was the kind of shit I did in high school. I remember I would go to class just for the opportunity to raise my hand and say something that was really funny. I annoyed the shit out of a lot of teachers.
Oh, I'm sure.
But there were also the handful of teachers that'd be like, "Oh, he's got potential to become a mediocre comedian in his."
Were you voted the guy most likely to succeed or anything like that in high school?
I was voted most outgoing, and then they gave me and my group of friends got some bullshit awards. I don't know. I didn't get class clown, and I was pissed because I was clear. There's this other guy in my class who would do things like I always remember I was like, oh, this is just the lowest denominator of comedy. He would walk into one of the bathrooms with his pants down and his dick between his legs and be like, "Which one of you cowboys wants to ride me like a stallion?" And people thought that shit was hilarious. And I was like, no, my body of work is much better. It's on a higher level. I did things at the pep rally in front of the entire class that got I danced erotically with my friend, this girl. But it was funny. I did the worm, the talent show. I killed it with this poem.
I was going to say that other guy just seems like real toilet humor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that was what.
No. Give him the fucking noise for that. That was bad.
What, that whole story?
No, he just said toilet humor because you were talking about the dude going in the bathroom and coming out with his shit between his legs. So he went with toilet humor.
Come
You're
on,
talking about lowest common denominator?
That is the best joke I've had on this show.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
So bad.
So it holds up for you.
Yes, I say so. Yes.
And I mean, it honestly does hold up for me. I'll watch it if it's on Comedy Central or something like that. If I'm flipping through and I'm bored, I'll watch it every time. And
it's not something I'm going to search out and watch again. I mean, the only reason I watched it again is for the show, but it's not something that I'm going to go out and buy the DVD or anything.
If I saw something that kind of sparked my nostalgia for it, I could easily, especially now that I know it's on Netflix. It's a fun movie. To me, like you said it, you thought it felt longer than an hour and a half. I didn't feel that way.
Yeah, I felt. I told him, I don't know, it must have been at about maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and I said it felt like 2 hours. It just felt like really long. But
I feel like this movie actually set up the kind of playbook for other movies. So was it Bring It On and all those kind of movies kind of have the same kind of storyline to it. So I think this was kind of like the first one that kind of built up that that kind of movie.
Yeah, the high school drama type thing. Yeah,
but it was really funny. I mean, even a lot of the jokes even held up now. Which doesn't happen a lot in comedy. I mean, comedy doesn't age very well at all. Comedy's not. It's a more of a thing for the young until you get to a certain level. But most of the time, movies, just because, especially a movie like that, that was heavy based on its culture of the time. Normally those movies you go back and watch and they're just so bad in retrospect. And this still had a lot of lines that we both laughed out loud.
Which makes me wonder what would Fast Times hold up? I mean, because that was another high school comedy. Sure, there's some classic moments in it, but does that one actually hold up with the jokes?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to look at that in the future.
I was about to say, it sounds like a future episode, but I've watched that a couple times over the years, and I think it's kind of getting to the point where the jokes are so old that they're almost not funny.
You're talking about Fast Times, right?
So, yeah, Fast Times.
Like, were they topical jokes?
Yeah, it's like topical jokes, but then also just things like back in the days that would have been funny to that generation, we don't find quite as funny, I guess, now. So
well, then,
it doesn't quite translate.
Is that a question then? Does this movie hold up more for us because we were all, I mean, obviously, like, I was a lot younger, but, like, I mean, that takes Corey back to his 50s.
Yes.
So is that maybe more, maybe it's a little more nostalgic because you were invested in that time period, whereas Fast Times at Ridgemont High, you were younger?
Yeah, I mean, exactly, because then it kind of puts in the same thing.
Because we still get the references.
In a few more years, will this sit as well with you once you're our age?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
right.
Because, we still get the references from this movie. Even if they're outdated and old, we still remember,
exactly.
The references by the Ren and Stimpy and
Beavis and Butthead.
And Beavis. It's commercial time. All right, Corey, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at NKOGonzo.
All right, and you can find me at BradScottComedy.com, at IndieBradScott for Instagram and Twitter, and check out the video section of BradScottComedy.com. And you can find the show at The Showdown Pod on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Somebody should. And Vic, what about where can the people find you?
You can find me online at MillerKing51. Also on Xbox One as Black and Angry. That's BLAQ and Angry. I also want to take a moment to say hello to one of our listeners out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to Kyle Oliver. Hello, sir, and welcome to the show.
We are not responsible for what happens in your life after listening to this show.
Not at all.
All right, speaking of which, let's get back to the show.
Unless you win the lottery, then don't forget about us.
Welcome back to the Showdown Podcast Survivor Series episode featuring Clueless. And that song you hear is Coolio, which plays a actually predominant role in the movie. It is a big part of the party scene we were talking about earlier where Ty gets hit in the head with the shoe. And she's actually asked by Elton if she can do the little arm thing with the, can you do this? Because I'm a douchebag, so I'm going to kind of sing Rolling with the Homies.
I just felt so embarrassed for them for that line. And the way that they acted. I was like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
Oh, just saying.
I was embarrassed for you white people.
Yes, I know.
I don't get it. What's wrong with this song? I don't get that.
There's nothing wrong with this song. It's just the way that they were acting. It's rolling with the homies. It's like, really?
Rolling with the homies.
Yeah, it's just, it's embarrassing. And
Vic, no rolling with the homies?
Nope, Vic's not going to do it.
No.
I thought he froze there for a second.
I can't do it. I have to abstain.
Okay, so aside from this song, which apparently I'm the only one who liked it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the song. It's the what was going on while the song was playing that was more of the problem. That was it.
Oh.
This movie had a great soundtrack.
Yes.
Radiohead is predominantly featured.
In the movie, yeah.
Which surprised me a lot, because I think that their song shows up like 3 times during the movie. And
I love how she comes out saying, like, why is every college kid listening to, Crybaby, and this song does literally sound like a dude who's pretty whiny.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a second Radiohead song in there too, which may not be on.
I think they only went with one because there was actually one of my favorite songs on the soundtrack that was in the club scene.
Is this the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones one?
This was my introduction to the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. This song and
they had a bigger hit though, didn't they?
And that was the other song that was in the movie. What's it called? Oh man, Ever Knock on Wood.
Oh yeah.
And Impression That I Get.
Yeah.
Impression That I Get. That's actually the first song, I believe, right? It's like playing midway through at the very beginning when they first get there, and then it goes into this. Where did you go?
Yeah, I think so.
And I love this song.
The lead singer, I told Brad, looks like he's really angry, like the
Yes, he
entire
does.
time.
He
just
does
looks
look mad.
really pissed off.
From the Boss Tones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I the only song that I know is that first one, that Impression That I Get. That's the only song that I know of theirs. I'm not, don't know anything about their band, but I had to ask him if the one guy, if all he does is just dance around. He said that's their Flavor Flav.
Yeah, it's the white Flavor Flav. He just jumps around in a suit. And those guys did a lot of coke, right? Like when they were, they just look like guys that were always at an after party doing cocaine in the same suits.
Yeah, probably.
That's why that one guy bounces around so much.
Yeah, and
on the stage.
And I think this was at the time when ska was starting to become a thing, and then it went away just as quickly as it came to everybody's knowledge.
Right.
This was a strange one, wasn't it?
Which one is that one?
This is All the Young Dudes. Hang on, listen to this first part of the song. It's just strange.
That's a David Bowie song.
It's talking about a guy wanting to kill himself. He was obviously on drugs because he's stealing clothes from unlocked cars. Is this a weird...
Yeah, that's originally David Bowie song, who we just lost last week.
All the Young Dudes?
Yep.
It's 1972.
Wow.
Released in 1972. That's older than me.
Well, this one was done by World Party.
Never heard of him.
Neither have I. Did the soundtrack win any awards? Did it win a Grammy?
Oh, I doubt that.
You doubt that?
Yeah.
I'm not thinking it did, no.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. Did it? I thought you were looking it up.
I can. Now, Vic, speaking of awards...
Yes. Speaking of, actually, it's made a couple of. It's got a couple of pretty good things. It's in the AFI's 100 Years 100 Most Quotes.
Really?
The As If was nominated.
Oh yeah, that got
the way
huge.
she says that all the time.
That got huge. I mean, you remember the mid to late 90s, it got to where it was annoying how often it was used.
I think it was annoying when we were watching it back, and I heard it a few times.
Because it harpens back to you when it got overused.
Yeah.
Is that the original By Felicia?
Yeah, I think so. Well, was that before? No, was Friday after this?
Yeah, Friday was after this. I think Friday came
barely
out.
after it, but it was after it.
I guess it would be.
I think Friday may have come out in 96.
Well, it's like whatever was another one that became a quote that everyone just says all the time, and it got played out to death.
That was with the fingers,
That's
right?
whatever.
They do that?
Yeah, that's whatever. He was making a W with his fingers. Actually, Friday came out in 95, so they came out about the same time.
But By Felicia wasn't as... I feel like By Felicia wasn't as big until the last few years.
It wasn't big until Straight
No,
Outta Compton.
it was completely not even.
It was like a throwaway
on the map until a couple years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't until Straight Outta Compton came out that anybody even started saying it, and it's like
people were saying it before that because I was doing it on stage 2 years before that.
Okay, well,
3 years ago it came back. 2-3 years.
For Friday, you got knocked the fuck out. That
was the big. Yeah, that was the big quote from Friday.
Yeah.
What other awards did Clueless win?
Crap.
Really, Vic?
All right, so it got
Put
six.
you in
It got
charge of
11
one thing.
nominations. It got 6 wins.
6 nominations for what?
It won. Hold on, I'm getting there. It won the American Comedy Awards, Funniest Actress in a Motion Picture. So for Alicia Silverstone. Second place ACC Awards, Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Brittany Murphy. Rest in peace. The Blockbuster Entertainment Award. Does that even count anymore?
I don't think so.
That was from Blockbuster Movies.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? So that was the favorite female newcomer for Alicia Silverstone. The Chicago Film Critics Association, most promising actress, Alicia Silverstone. So basically, like, everything was Alicia Silverstone except for a couple things. National Society of Film Critics Award. That's not a bad one. It won for best screenplay.
Did it get an MTV Movie Award?
It should have, right?
You would think
this is
so.
this is an MTV
Artist
movie.
Award.
I mean, I don't think it wasn't an MTV.
No, it
film,
wasn't
But I
it.
mean, it's an MTV type movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It would have got it, but it doesn't. No, it's not listed.
That's surprising.
Now,
Go figure.
you remember the scene where they're doing the suck and blow game,
Yes.
Mm.
Unfortunately.
where they're in the kitchen. You remember, Vic? They're using a credit card and they're.
I lied. It did get an MTV.
There we
What
go.
was the award?
Just found it. Looked it through. It won Best Female Performance for Alicia Silverstone. Most Desirable Female, Alicia Silverstone. Best Movie nominations. Best Comedic Performance, Alicia Silverstone. So it won 2 and got nominated for.
2.
Paul Rudd should have gotten something. He was great in this movie.
Yeah, he's not even mentioned.
So you remember the suck and blow scene? The game they're playing in the kitchen with the card.
Yes,
So
I've played this game before.
really, well, here's the interesting thing. So
Wow. Okay.
cast-
So it was a real game.
the cast was unable to.
Black people are really good at it. Little self-
The cast was unable to sustain the breath to make a real credit card pass from mouth to mouth, so they came up with a prop card that was cardboard. That didn't work, so they drilled holes into it. That didn't work, so the whole cast's lips were heavily coated in chapstick to force it to stick.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. First of all, real people that don't live in Beverly Hills use a playing card for this game normally, which makes it really easy for it to work because it's a flat surface. Credit cards have, obviously, the ridges where the numbers and stuff are imprinted on it, so that wouldn't work anyway. They should have figured that out pretty quick. They should have probably used a $500 bill or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. That would have fit the. What the hell? That would have fit the surroundings, Beverly Hills type thing for sure.
Won Kids' Choice Award for Alicia Silverstone again. Hey, Stacey Dash actually got a little bit of play. The Young Artist Award for 1996.
Of course, because they probably thought that she was 17.
12, yeah. Best Young Supporting Actress.
Wait,
Stacey
okay.
Dash.
How old was Stacey Dash when this movie was made?
Hold on, I'll answer that for you. A little bit of trivia. Although Paul Rudd's character is in college and is older than the other characters who are in high school, Stacey Dash is actually 3 years older than Paul Rudd. So
Okay, but you didn't answer the question as to how old Stacey.
She was 21.
She was 21?
yeah, she would have been like
Yes.
And they gave her the Young Actresses Award. She was already in other movies, though.
I was waiting for him to get to the line where he said, "Oh, she's 21." He never delivered. Like, you made this grand stand about, I know the
Oh
answer
yeah,
to this.
exactly.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you.
I'll
it
tell you right
didn't
now. She's
come.
3 years older than another guy. We don't know how old he was when he did the movie.
Well, I told you earlier that Alicia was actually 19 in this movie. So, you could figure it out from there, I would imagine.
So she's 3 years older than Paul Rudd. I should have been able to figure it out by somebody you didn't put in the equation.
Yeah.
You literally
The worst
realize what you
fucking,
said made
the
absolutely
first
no
math
sense.
question ever.
I understood it.
Like it made no sense whatsoever.
In his own personal world, apparently it made sense. So But luckily, we're here to save the day, Brad. So she was 21 at the time. It's kind of like that chick from 90210, the nerdy girl that was like 30 when they filmed that, and she was trying to play like an 18-year-old.
They have a tendency to do that a lot, where somebody's like 10 years older than they should be in the movie.
Wow, here's something. Zooey Deschanel auditioned for Amber. Amber and Cher, yeah. Owen Wilson auditioned for Travis, the stoner.
Oh, okay.
Breckin Meyer's character.
Wow, I didn't even know.
Leah Remini? Is that how you say it?
Did you just do an impression?
Yes, I did. How was it?
Is that the Olsen one? Let me hear it again.
Yeah, you like that?
Let me hear it again.
Okay. Here you go. Wow, I didn't even know I went out for this movie.
It's actually not too terrible for an Owen Wilson.
See, that's why I was asking Vic's opinion, because he's not here. He can't actually see
all
me.
All you're doing is just talking like this.
Wow.
I mean, I was like Clueless. That's the kind of movie I should be in.
It's the wow I have down. That's the easy part.
Wow.
Everything. Wow. You have to kind of talk from the back of your throat, kind of. Yeah.
Do a Luke Wilson impression.
Wow.
It's the exact same thing.
They all sound the same.
No, I think Luke Wilson sounds really different, doesn't he?
He sounds a little bit different, yeah. But if you really
He's
listen,
got kind of more of a serious tone.
Well, it's because Owen's nose is broken that way. It's like that guy. His nose annoys me. I can't watch him on TV on a movie without like staring at his nose.
Well,
like fucking, you have a ton of money. Fix that.
What you trying to say?
they've got another brother too that that sounds just like him too. They all three of them sound the same.
Do you think they have another brother that was a volleyball that got lost at sea with Tom Cruise?
That's their fourth brother, yes.
They don't talk about him very often.
All right. So
I'm kind of wondering what the Bible thumpers thought about this movie.
Ooh, yes. See if we could do our What Would Jesus Watch?
We haven't done What Would Jesus Do in a while.
It's What Would Jesus Watch?
What Jesus watch?
Yeah.
Do you listen to our show?
No, this is the first time.
You don't even remember the website, do you?
No, I blanked on it for a second.
Do you think they could? Do you think this is something that could be remade, or has there been a movie that's kind of the equivalent of this that's been remade? I don't think it's one of those things where you could do obviously like a remake, because obviously the technology and everything else will be so outdated. But is Mean Girls? I've never seen Mean Girls. Does that fall into this category?
No, I think
what was that? The Duff. I think the Duff would be.
Oh, I want to see that.
I haven't seen that one. I don't
not
think
terrible, but
I don't think Mean Girls falls under that. Just because it kind of gets categorized together because they're high school and it's a comedy and it's the main stars are all girls.
So how about okay, so like I said earlier, Bring It On is kind of that same kind of like group dynamic, but bunch of buddies, that kind of thing. Like you can see the parallels with them. So you have the head cheerleader girl is kind of like is Cher, and then you have the girl that's not a cheerleader that they turn into a cheerleader, so she gets the makeover like they did with Brittany Murphy. See what I'm saying?
So then, yeah, it's like a She's All That.
Yeah. So, trying to think, there's a number of movies out there I think that kind of fit that mold. For an older group, Romeo and Michelle High School Reunion or whatever it is, that kind of fits the mold in there.
That shows you how good this movie is, because all of the movies you guys that you were just listing, Vic, were like, they don't even compare. Which shows you like this movie was in that same mold and it kind of set the standard. And there hasn't really been a movie that's been able to live up to how all around, because it's an all around good movie. I mean, it's not too feminine to be kind of a mushy romantic comedy. It's got a lot more humor.
Okay.
Than a lot of them do.
Well, What Would Jesus Watch tends to differ with what you just said.
Oh, what do they think?
They say it's a lighthearted comedy with some unfortunate characters that many teenagers will either identify with or recognize as their own friends. From drug use to homosexuality to free sex and shopping sprees, this film endorses a pagan lifestyle. The picture does deliver some giggles at the lifestyle of those pampered kids, but the overall message leaves something to be desired. They didn't like it.
The homosexual character
It didn't
was
rate
one of the
80%
best.
fresh with them.
Yeah, that's something we did forget to bring up.
Christian.
Who is a character that Sheriff thought...
He was the gay.
Yeah, he was the gay.
But he was really, really funny. And especially the scene where Alicia Silverstone, where he goes over to her house for the big movie date, and he wants to watch Spartacus.
Yeah. So, I just have to read this out loud. This is still from What Would Jesus Watch? The film depicts pagan living where drinking alcohol, smoking pot, free sex, and shopping sprees are the norm.
Free sex.
Oh, free sex? This site cracked.
Jesus would have paid for his ass. Our Lord and Savior didn't skimp on the pussy.
So, in that vein, since the Thumpers think that it was not a good movie, what would you say a better, in your opinion, what would be a better high school movie than Clueless? If you were to actually say Clueless wasn't the best, what would you think would rank up there with it?
As what, depicting high school kids?
Yeah. Like for me, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I think, is, to me, as far as a high school comedy-based show, Ferris Bueller's Day Off would be like on the top of that list for me.
The first thing that came to mind for me is Dazed Confused.
I don't know how much I'd put.
But and that was the 70s too, so things were slightly different. But as I stated in that episode, that every character, when I first watched that movie, every character that was in the movie was somebody I knew. It's like the one black guy that's in the movie, I knew. I knew exactly who that was. He acted the same way. And every other character down the line.
Well, because to Corey, they all act the same.
Yeah, they all act the same.
Varsity Blues, would that be?
I don't want your life.
That's a good one.
There's another impression for you.
That was awful.
No,
I can't give you points for that, dude.
Not Varsity Blues. No.
What? Okay. All right. Hold on. So because this came up, I just went and looked to see what they have
pull up
listed,
some options.
as far as being better movies, since Corey's killing us. The first one actually is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The next one is, now this is the top 10 movies that are better than Clueless.
That's hold on.
It actually says,
that's the name of the list. It's the name of the list is
10 movies that are better than
so
Clueless.
somebody was like, you know what? I just want to. I liked Clueless, but I feel like it's 11. I feel like it's number 11.
Right.
So I want to create a list of 10 movies just specifically that are better than this one. Okay, go ahead. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It makes
is number
sense.
one.
People are trolls.
Now you say Ferris Bueller. I don't really think so. Just because, you've got a few classroom scenes, but you only see the 3 high school kids throughout the entire movie, and that's not really a depiction of high school life to me. But go ahead.
How many classroom scenes were in Dazed and Confused?
At least
wondering.
2. But
at the very beginning.
But the thing is, the difference between Ferris Bueller and Dazed and Confused is you saw
more of the kids.
You saw more of a.
So you're just looking at ensemble,
right? I mean, because with Ferris Bueller, you're only seeing the 3, as opposed with Dazed and Confused, you've got all sorts of different types of characters.
For this list's sake, it counts because they're just looking at 10 movies that are better.
Okay, let's carry on.
Yeah, that are like teenage depictions. Anyway, so you have Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Footloose.
Ugh.
I haven't watched that movie. I haven't watched that movie in a long time, so I can't say anything.
I can tell you we're not doing it on this show.
Can't Hardly Wait.
Can't Hardly Wait. I could almost
That's a good
see that.
one.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really good movie. But I feel like it kind of was inspired by Clueless. And according to Joe Lavelle, if it's the first of something, it's always the best.
Exactly. Believe it or not, Dazed and Fucking Confused is on here.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
What number was that? 4?
Yeah,
are these movies numbered?
No. I'm assuming that it's starting from, 10, counting their
So Ferris Bueller was 10?
So, yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Okay, so what we have? We had Ferris Bueller.
This is
We had
7.
Ferris Bueller, then what?
This is 7. Ferris Bueller, Fast Times. Then you have Can't Hardly Wait. And then Corey's picked Dazed and Confused. So moving on to number 6, we have Jawbreaker.
Oh, that movie's so bad.
You didn't like that movie.
That's the one where
Is that the one with the girls like
got Rose McGowan and
yeah, they murder a girl, right?
Yeah, on accident.
On accident with they put
With
the
the
jawbreaker in her
jawbreaker,
mouth.
yeah.
Yeah, that movie's awful.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that now.
That movie was
I
horrible.
only remember it because of like a very small. That's a bad movie. Moving on, The Breakfast Club, which is actually one of my number 1 movies of all times. Like that, this would be in my top 10 of all time movies. I love this.
That
movie.
is surprising.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I would have put Breakfast Club in the same category as Seinfeld for black people.
No, not at all. Opposite direction of the scale. No, I love this movie. This is one not only mine but like a family favorite for. Yes, I love the movie. All right, so moving on, we have number.
Yeah, you still haven't said one that I would put above Clueless yet.
How did that? Hold on, we skipped big time. What's going on here? All right, so I was wrong. That's going in the opposite direction. We started from 1. We're moving up. Cruel Intentions.
Ooh, man, we should do that on the show. That would be a good one for the show because that's a good movie. At least I remember. I loved that movie when I was in high school because I was like, man, I want to get pussy like that dude. Ryan Phillippe.
How do you say his last name?
Filipino
It's
Pit
Phillippe.
is
Phillippe.
what we should call him.
Phillippe?
Phillippe, yep. All right, so the 11th. What the fuck? La Baume?
The Bohm?
Laboum. Never heard of it.
Well, that's an epic fail on their
It's
part.
got English subtitles, so it's got English subtitles, so that kind of tells you a little bit.
That doesn't count.
So Ferris Bueller was the top.
Ooh,
Dazed and Confused was the 7th.
I could disagree with them completely because it sounds like Cruel Intentions was like 9th. I would have
It was 10th.
10th. I would have put Cruel Intentions as like to me the only one that could compete with Clueless as a movie because Cruel Intentions was funny as shit too.
You thought it was funny?
Oh yeah, a lot of it was funny. You didn't?
Heathers?
I guess.
I need to rewatch that movie then,
I haven't
man,
seen it
because
forever.
I thought I remembered it as being funny, like a dark comedy.
I don't remember it so much being. I mean, there were some funny parts in it, but I thought. Of
He's trying to fuck his stepsister.
I don't know.
He brought up another one.
I don't know where to classify that.
Vic brought up Heathers. That was a good one.
Heathers? I've never seen Heathers.
With Christian Slater and Winona Ryder. That was a good one. But, here's one. Here's one that I mentioned to you last night that we should consider for our show. Teen Witch. That's another one.
Oh, yeah. No, was that Sabrina?
No, it's not Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It's just called Teen Witch. It's about a girl who, when she turns 16, she ends up getting her witch powers, and she's able to... there's a guy that she likes. She's able to manipulate him to liking her, and things go awry with that. It's very, very bad. So I was like, I said, we've got to do this.
That movie had a big impact on you?
No, it did not. Not at all. But it did have the lady from Poltergeist, who we talked about a couple episodes back. The Don't Go to the Light, Carrie Ann, that chick, that creepy lady, she's in this movie too.
Oh dear God! It sounds awful already.
It is awful, and that's why I think we should do it because we could have a fun time with that one. But that's something for.
Don't hold your breath, listener.
No, I don't see it happening anyway.
Did you know they did a documentary called Beyond Clueless?
Oh my God!
I saw that on Netflix. I didn't realize. I didn't think that they were connected.
Oh wait! It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
you can watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, we could have. Watched.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Oh man, why we should have watched that before we recorded this? Is it basically like B-roll?
I don't know. I mean, I just found it on here, but I don't know.
I think another thing we should do.
We definitely need to look at that.
Another thing we should do, as we've done with as we did with Street Fighter, is I think we should recast. Now the nice thing is, you already got your Dion and your Josh, because Stacey Dash and Paul Rudd could both play 16 and 18-year-old respectively. Still,
yeah, they can come back and
the one you're going to struggle with is your Ty.
Yeah.
But Miley Cyrus as Ty.
You know, I was going to say Cher. I can see her playing Cher.
Miley Cyrus as Cher?
See, to me, she's a little too wild.
I think that's a stretch.
She's a little too wild to me. Who would be a good Cher? Vic, who do you think?
Don't start with me. I have to think because I'm not good at this part.
Okay, so obviously,
it's always.
You know, Breckenmeyer looks the same as he did back then. I mean, he could be recast. So you could probably recast
this
almost
entire with just the actual.
Okay.
Yeah. Just recast the remake starring the
college.
exact same cast minus Brittany Murphy.
Michael B. Jordan would be a good Murray.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Let's see who else here. Hey, you know what? Wallace Shawn and Twink Kaplan, they're still alive. Put them back in those same roles.
Okay, well, we're not going to just go through the movie and keep...
Okay, we're recasting.
Yeah, we're recasting it.
All right.
That joke ran stale. Like, that's why I stopped doing it. After.
Well, you know how I am. I'm slow at this.
Who's the Cher? That's the main role you've got to fill. That's your lead. Who carries that weight? Because who's the... You guys have better Googling options. Let's look up some young actors. Elton? Zac Efron?
What about Jennifer Lawrence as Cher?
She'd be a good Cher. I don't know though if she's like. I don't know if she can come across as like rich snob though.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
To be so, Michael B. Jordan is actually the perfect. Yeah. So, yeah. I'll tell you why in a minute because I think they you know that this last year was the 20th anniversary, I guess, of this movie. Obviously, yeah. So they went through, and I'll go through this for you later. But they went through and they recasted. The movie.
Did they?
No. Let's just see what they got there.
Yeah, they did our work for us.
All right. Hold on one second. Let me get back to it real quick because my shit's playing games with me. So continue while I find it again. Okay, here we go. So we'll start with. Hold on. So Christian, guy by the name of Douglas Booth.
Never heard of him.
You recognize him from anything? Disco dancing, Oscar Wilde. Hold on, Booth. They don't say what they're from. Like you think that they would have.
Is that about a boy?
Giving you what they were in.
About a boy.
Romeo. He played Romeo opposite Holly Seinfeld's Juliet. I don't know.
He was in
I
LOL.
don't know. It's no one I recognize.
He's going to be in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Worried about the boy.
I'm good with that.
Jupiter Ascending.
And that's who they said was who?
I'll give you. Don't mention that.
Who they said that was?
Did you say two?
He said who?
Who did they say he was?
Oh. Douglas Booth.
Okay.
Christian.
No, that's a good match.
I can see that. Yeah.
Okay. So, Elton, Max Irons.
Max Irons. Okay.
You would think that they would give you, like, what they were in before, you know what I mean? Like, why not tell you what they were in ahead of time, like, so you can kind of place them to something?
I don't think they know how this game works.
No.
Because, like, they're actually casting it.
I don't think so either. I don't know who this person is.
They're, like, actually casting the movie. With, like, people who cast movies would know. They should have known for our podcast we like to go with actors everyone's familiar with. We might even just have to go...
Right. So, okay, so here's one everyone's familiar with. So, Mel Roberts. Mel would be Robert De Niro.
Ooh, that's...
is that Dan Hidea's character? I could go with that.
That's a good one.
For the dad. And the weird thing is they have / Jane Fonda. So are we gender switching? It's her
mom was dead. Her mom died in a botched plastic surgery.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that they're saying you can do Robert De Niro or Jane Fonda and then just switch it to the dad died instead of the mom.
No, I like Robert De Niro as the dad way better.
Yeah.
Than I would Jane Fonda
Except
as the
he
mom.
might be a little old at this point.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't
Maybe
know.
Max Hedaya was a little old too, now that I think about it.
That's the only one I like that they got. I'm not a huge fan of them, like, using people I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Marlon Wayans would be a good Murray.
Yeah, that would work. He's goofy enough. So they have Amber cast as Holland Roden. Never heard of her. Actually, I have heard of her. She's from Teen Wolf. They did.
I think Jennifer Lawrence would be a good Amber.
Jennifer Lawrence? You think she could make that age group right now?
No. I've already decided I'm discarding that.
Oh, gotcha. So we're not worried about age.
I don't know enough of the young actors and actresses, and
you got De Niro's playing her dad, so that kind of throws the whole age thing out the window to begin with.
What about for Cher? What about that girl that's in that new movie, The Fifth Wave, who's been in a bunch of other stuff? You know what I'm talking about? The blonde?
Hit girl. What's her name? I can't think of her name right now.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes.
Yep, that's it. Hit girl. So, ironically enough, Murray, Michael B. Jordan.
That's who they had cast as it?
Yeah, that's who they have cast as it.
Wow.
Oh,
So,
shit. I could be a casting agent.
Dion.
What did you think of my Cher?
Dion Shay Mitchell. That's not a bad pick.
Shay Mitchell?
What is she in?
Look up Shay Mitchell.
How the hell do you spell that?
Shay? Probably
Shay.
I spelled it CHE.
Is she light skinned or is she mixed?
She's mixed.
She's Filipino. It says right there. And who is she playing?
That's
Dion.
That's Dion.
I would have thought maybe Beyonce.
You can't see that, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we got her pulled up.
Yeah, we got her pulled up.
Okay. It's not there.
I'd have to hear the personality, though. Dion was more personality, is what made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give you that. Travis?
That's the only problem. It'd have to be Green Hornet Seth Rogen.
And you think Jason Segel can?
Josh, I got a good one. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes.
Which one? Which one was Josh?
Paul Rudd.
Okay.
I got one for you for Taya, or whatever her name is. Is it Taya?
Ty.
Or Ty? Ilana Glazer,
How do I know her?
the comedian. She's a comedian. She did what is it? They had a show called It was her and her best friend, and they had an apartment.
Broad
they
City?
lived in New York City. Broad City. That's it.
Oh, I don't think she's hot enough. She's also in The Night Before. She's really good in that. But I don't know. I don't think she looks... I guess maybe I'd have to see her with a makeover. But right now, I don't think she cuts it. I don't think she cuts the mustard.
That's who they have on. That's who they have for Ty's.
Oh, that's who the fantasy booking has?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't go for that.
Yeah, I don't see it.
No.
Ooh, you know who would be a good share? Cecily Strong.
Cecily Strong.
It's not
From SNL.
Going by there. I think they're also using these as a way to like parallel them. So if you look at that as a parallel, you could probably get away with turn her hair red.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, she's even though when Brittany Murphy's hair was red and when it wasn't, she was still kind of cute. This chick's not really.
You just don't want her to do it because she's half black.
I didn't know she was, to be honest.
All right, look, even subconsciously, you're racist. So, what about Josh?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you said that. I'm gonna pick what's his face? Transformers. The first one.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
I could see him as more of an Elton. Just because he's such a
yeah.
douche.
I can see me not watching the movie if he's in it.
He'll put on a mask and let someone jack him off. In the
While
name
he's
of
screaming
art.
in front of a green screen.
Or going and watching his own movies.
God,
With a paper bag over his head.
All he needed was to
famous.
wear sunglasses in that theater just to be the complete douche. That's all he was missing, was wearing sunglasses at night inside. Who watches their own Hey, come watch my own movie with me. It's art, because I'm watching myself and taking pictures of myself.
and he slept during some of them.
No, what would have been amazing is if he would have jerked off. Just the scenes with just him.
Oh, I'm so great in this movie.
So was he watching Transformers?
He watched all of them.
So he's like trying to claim he's this artiste as he's doing the movie with robots.
Yeah.
He's watching himself in the movie with robots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's based off a toy line.
Yep,
Okay. Yeah. You're so artistic, Shia.
he is. He's amazing. I wish everybody was like him.
So do you know who Lily James is?
No.
That's who
Should
they
I?
said should play Cher. Is Lily James. Do you watch Downton Abbey at all?
The first
Which
season.
is another thing.
season.
Everybody seems. She played Lady Rose on Downton Abbey, as well as Cinderella.
She was Cinderella?
Yeah. Don't know who that is. I've never seen her before, but that's who they said should play Cher. I really think that they're only going by like basic looks of the people, not really like what talent should play them.
Probably not, no.
Not factoring in their personality?
Yeah, not really. I think they just like this person kind of looks like that person, so that's who should play them.
Right. All right. Well,
That is it for us. This was our Clueless Survivor Series episode, and I think we all agree it's a Survivor, right?
yes, indeed.
Yes, it is.
It
and
is,
Corey's
it gets-
still clueless, so it all works out.
It gets the green light from all three of us, and I feel like this first episode with Vic Skyping in was a success.
I hope it sounds all right.
It wasn't bad.
If it's not, then shoot us. Whatever.
What if it's going to end up just being me and Corey, and you can't hear Vic at all?
No,
Just very now and
I'm
then.
still recording my track. What's going to be really funny is when I clean up my track and it sounds better than Corey's.
I don't know. Be tough to beat that.
But join us for our next episode, and which will be a regular battle, and then keep your ears to the sky. And that Showdown Stork might drop you another Survivor Series episode in the near future. So from all of us here, from Vic, from Corey, and from myself, this is an award-winning podcast. And as always, we're rolling with the homies.
That's a good transition there.
Rolling with the homies.
It's too bad he doesn't come in sooner with the vocals.
Oh.
You fucked it up.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Later.